Good evening, everyone. It's been a great weekend. People have been playing hard. You may not realize there's a severe weather threat this evening across the Ozarks, and I'll bring you a little update here this evening. We've got thunderstorms organizing, as they always do, of course, out to the west of us, southwest of us in particular, and you can see that on what I'm showing you right here. We'll switch to the full view so you can see the entire image, and then we'll start talking about this a little bit. So these thunderstorms develop pretty rapidly over Oklahoma here in the last couple of hours. I'm recording this about 9:45 in the evening, and there is a whole slew of severe weather warnings connected with these storms. In fact, just about every storm out here has a severe thunderstorm warning attached to it. So what's going to eventually happen this evening, and I'll show you the model output here in a minute, is this is all going to kind of form into sort of a line of storms. We do have to kind of watch out for these loners like this one and see what they do. Maybe this one, if they are out ahead of the line, sometimes they can take on sort of a separate tornadic sort of appearance. We have to watch very carefully for that. Just kind of zooming out a little bit, I'll show you where the Storm Prediction Center thinks that the greatest threat for severe weather is tonight. This is the so-called enhanced area of severe weather in orange right here, followed by the slight area. And these are just, they ramp up. So slight is not as good as of a chance as enhanced. The next one up would be moderate. And you can see Springfield's just on the edge of these two. So this entire area right here is becoming, I think, a little more conducive for severe weather tonight, meaning the conditions are getting better and better. The winds are out of the southeast across this area, which helps with low-level rotation. The upper-level winds are out of the southwest, so we've got kind of a good, what we call a shear in the atmosphere. It encourages the turning of storms. One thing we're a little weak on is unstable air, but with the other parameters in pretty good shape, I'm not as concerned about the lack of that, meaning that I still think we can get severe weather out of this system. If you've been watching social media, you probably realized that Dallas had a pretty significant tornado go just north of the city, and I can show you this on my analysis here. You see this right here is a tornadic signature, and the rotation connected with that is on the right panel here. And as I kind of flip through that, you can kind of watch it go just through the University Park area north of there, just south of Richardson, Texas. You can just kind of continue to watch that. That reached a pretty good intensity right back on that one right there. And it has shown continuous rotation as it continues to move sort of east-northeast, I guess you could say, in the northern part of the Dallas Metroplex area. So a pretty significant storm, not to the end yet here. It looked like it intensified again there. Still going through the loop. I got a couple more images here. And then what happened is what happens with storms, oftentimes the stronger ones, is the old tornado right here backed off and weakened, and a new tornado formed right there. And then we can kind of watch how that now has taken over right around the Pleasant Valley area. Still think I got a couple more scans here. That's the last one right there. And it's starting to get farther away from the radar too, which may be hindering the actual true nature of that storm. So that's a pretty interesting storm down there, and that's already produced confirmed damage. So coming back here, will we have that? Unlikely, but again, we have to watch this pretty carefully throughout the evening. And I'll show you the model data too. While we're on the subject of trying to forecast what's going on. So if you kind of look at this, this is supposed to be valid here. Let's see, we're looking at about 10 o'clock. So this is what it should be looking like right now. It's about on track with some of the storms I showed you on live radar, except it shows them north of Tulsa instead of south. I mean, that's okay. But see, what will happen here is this thing will eventually congeal into a line of storms tonight. And as typical with this, these are called quasi-linear systems because they're not truly straight lines. But anytime there's a bow in the area like that or a bend, we kind of watch for enhanced, at least wind damage, and possibly small tornadoes are not impossible in these situations as well. And that map right there is valid at about 1 a.m. tonight. So we're kind of waiting on that to form. I'll bring you more updates this evening here as we continue to see this unfold. Hopefully it'll just it'll form, but it won't be widespread wind damage or severe. I don't think it's a terribly unstable atmosphere, but again, we'll have to watch it with one eyebrow up, I think.